What's going on, YouTube? It's the Masked Man here again, and I want to talk to you today about why I go to the movies. Now, I haven't actually been into a movie theater in a while, but when I did go, the reason why I would go to a movie theater versus seeing a movie, at home, you know, on my own personal television, on my computer, was because I really liked the experience of having other people react to what they were seeing on the screen. And I really got a kick out of people enjoying themselves, with the movie, getting involved in the story, making themselves, a part of the overall movie going experience. When people yell at the screen, when people, narrate what's going on in the movie, when people clap, during a movie, I see all of that as part of the movie going experience. And I see that as a part of how much people are invested in what's going on in the movie. Now, the reason I made this video is because a gentleman by the name of Chris Stuckman did a video called A Rant on Annoying Moviegoers. And I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. And I agree with everything he said in the movie. And I agree with it from his perspective. From the perspective of somebody who is a film critic, from the perspective of somebody who has to review movies for a living and who has to pay very close attention to what's going on in the story, who has to hear all the dialogue, who has to be able to get a sense of what the movie was about. People talking on their cell phones, people texting, people holding a conversation amongst themselves, that can interfere with your ability to do your job. That can affect your ability to do your job effectively. And people who work in movie theaters or people who host private screenings or advanced screenings, they should have security and they should be able to enforce a certain kind of environment for a certain kind of clientele. And I think that there should be some kind of a separation between people who do review and do criticize and do talk about movies for a living and the average moviegoer. But as an average moviegoer, not just as, somebody who actively screams out in movies. In all honesty, I don't think I've ever shouted in a movie. I've ever clapped in a movie. I've ever done any of that. I've never been on a cell phone in a movie. I don't get many phone calls in general. So I'm not that person. But the kind of person that I am, I love seeing people entertained. I love seeing people, happy. I love seeing people laugh. I love seeing people having fun. I love watching it. That's why I'm such a huge fan of reaction channels. That's why I know about almost all of them. Even the tiny guys with a couple of hundred views, I've probably seen a couple of their videos because I love people having a positive reaction or a negative reaction to something I liked or to something I didn't like. It makes me feel, like I have a kindred spirit in the world. And when I go to see a movie, if I'm ever blessed enough to have some success, where I can afford to go see movies on a regular basis. I like for it would really be unfortunate to me if I went to see an exciting movie like a Dark Knight, or a movie like one of the good diehards, and everybody just sat there quiet, sat there silently, and just watched the movie. And it was just a room full of people having no interaction, a room full of people not having any connection to each other. Like it's a bunch of people watching a movie together, but everybody is alone. Everybody is by themselves, but they're in a room with 100 or 200 other people. I don't like that dynamic. I like the dynamic of a crowd. I like the dynamic of we come together to watch this movie, and we all take on a collective consciousness, and we all react to this movie together. We all interact with this movie together. We all participate, and we all become a part of one complete experience. Now, I'm not taking away from what Chris Stuckman said. Like I said earlier in the video, I think he had some excellent points, and I think people who are in the profession that he is in and is quite successful in, and a profession that I'm just, trying to break into, people who review movies, who review television, who talk about media, they need the opportunity to do their job and do it correctly. And there has to be something has to be done so that those people can have what they need. But, I live in Louisiana. Not New Orleans, not Baton Rouge, but I live in Louisiana. And where I'm from, I've never had any of the experience that he talks about in the video that he did. I never had anyone have a fight in a movie theater. I've never had anyone that was just holding, a conversation so loudly that you could hear them all over the theater. I've never had that experience. And before, back when I had a little bit of money, at least enough money to go see a movie, I went to quite a few movies, and I never had those negative experiences. The most I would see is somebody sneaking in to go see a movie, maybe somebody getting caught trying to steal a movie. But I never saw anybody that was just super obnoxious, super disruptive to what was going on. So to anybody that has to deal with that, I do sympathize with them. But honestly, I think the talking, and I think the exclaiming, and I think the narration, that's all a part of the experience. People go to a movie, to feel it, to feel what's going on. They want to interact. They want to interact with their movie. They want to have an interactive experience. Now, some people may say that those people should go home, but I would say if you want to watch a movie where all you do is sit down in silence and just pay attention to what's going on in the screen, who needs to be at home? Do the people who want to interact and get involved in the movie and yell and shout, do they need to be at home, or do you need to be at home? I'm just asking a question. I don't know. Now, that doesn't go for people who do this for a living. I'm excluding them. Like I said, I agree with everything that Chris Stuckman said. I'm 100% for what he said. You know, I think he did that video a year or two ago, and I just saw it, and I wanted to talk about what he talked about in the film, or what he talked about movies. I wanted to talk about it. You know, but that's just why I go to movies. I go to movies for the reactions. I go to movies for the interaction. I go to movies so that people can have some sort of, you know, energetic response. Anyway, that's all I had to say about this subject. Let me know what you think in the comments. I will leave a link to the video that inspired the video I'm making now in the description. Rate the video, like, dislike, be honest, subscribe to my channel. You can email me at mrmassmans with an S business at gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at the Mr. Massman at Twitter. And that's all I have for you today, and I will see you in the next video.